Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my loves, it's Destin Choice and you're watching Choice TV. So for today's video, I wanted to educate some of y'all and tell y'all to cut off those fake ass, finicky, fake mean girlfriends that a lot of y'all probably have lingering in your circle. And I wanted to talk about this specifically because I came across a viral video where Natalie Nunn, the famous reality TV star, essentially embarrassed and disrespected her friend in public. Quote unquote her best friend. Now, if y'all haven't heard, Natalie Nunn is one of the biggest reality TV stars in the world right now. She's huge because of her TV show Baddies. A lot of us know her from the TV show The Bad Girls Club. A lot of us know her for being a colorist.
Too black. Her nose looks like a gorilla nose. And so, dark-skinned girls never seem to like me. We should be roommates. You're gonna get the ghetto black bitch. She's gonna punk you all the time.
A lot of us know her for being a pass around in the entertainment industry and then blasting it on the internet, where she messed around with people such as Wiz Khalifa, Chris Brown, and many other people such as Rihanna's cousin. And to be honest with you, Natalie Nunn isn't going anywhere. She's been famous for a very long time, and she's used her star power and the fact that she sleeps around in the entertainment industry in order to elevate her star power. And this has been known for a long time. Natalie's also known for being very conniving and picky and finicky and manipulative and very classist, because a lot of people who have been friends with her in the past have pretty much exposed her, like her other colleagues from reality TV shows.
What is it about her that keeps people around her?
Okay, so people are attracted to her because she brings opportunities. She does that because, for one, she sleeps with everybody, she gets everybody's number, she's always out, so she does have a lot of connections. It's like people like her, but they hate her at the same time because she'll use you, make up lies, backstab you. So with me and her, I quit being her friend, and I mentioned this on Baddies ATL in 2015. She stole money, she lied, she left me in a different country.
Girl, did you beat her the fuck up? Like what
I quit talking to her for years.
And as you guys can see in that video where she embarrassed her friend by pouring water on her friend, it doesn't look like she's really a friend to anybody. Now, for those of you guys who aren't sure who the young woman is, this is Scotty, Natalie Nunn's quote-unquote best friend and castmate on the show Baddies. And her and Scotty have been friends for a couple of years, way before Baddies was even thought of. And long story short, Scotty has allegedly been known to go on private jets with Natalie, and they were both allegedly doing escort work. So Natalie goes around pretending that she and a plethora of other Instagram models, like Scotty, love to go all over the world and go on lash tours because Natalie Nunn apparently has a successful eyelash brand that's sold out all over the world.
Tweezing, you know, then you end up with like no eyebrows. Same thing with eyeliner.
Oh, I found a company, literally online, Lash Dubai, where I was getting my eyelashes from.
Right.
And they came out with wing eyeliners.
I've had girls go on trips. They might have cost me over 15 grand to go and do the Natalie Mykonos lash that's dropping in Mykonos, and then they don't post or tag you not one time. You just on the trip posting like you're in Mykonos, bitch. You're here because I flew you out, I paid for your shit, and you just gonna sit here and post just yourself?
You hear that?
I hear
it.
You
about to sit there and just post your mother. Hear that?
I hear
you about to sit there and just...
Not the fact. She decides to bring up the lie that her lash events are always in Dubai because her vendor is in Dubai. Guys, does it look like these lashes come from a Dubai vendor and that she needs to be there in person and on a jet? No. She's traveling all around the world on these fake lash photo shoots as an escort. Yes, Natalie Nunn is an escort. I know most of you guys knew it, but nobody's really came out and said it. So Sarah said it.
So yeah, Scotty has accompanied her numerous times on these lash trips. And according to one of Natalie's ex-friends, these lash trips are actually fake and are usually done so that they can hook up with old-ass, rich, creepy men. And honestly, no shame in their game, but that's clearly how they know each other and why they're so close. Now, Scotty is from Charlotte, North Carolina, and she's a beautiful girl, she's a personal trainer, and she has a fitness line. And essentially, Natalie brought her onto the Baddies franchise 2 years ago to help elevate her career and to give her a platform to shine. And Scotty was able to utilize the platform to build millions of followers, tons of attention. However, their friendship is famous for being toxic. And she even got on the internet to defend Natalie by saying, "This narrative that Nat isn't being a good friend to me needs to stop. Nat is the reason I'm on baddies. She vouched for me for real. She put so many females on around her. Yes, there are times when I feel like she's being hard on me or mean, but that's just Nat, especially when she's lit and drinking. Nat is the life of the party at the end of the day. Nat has feelings too, and she's human. I understand everyone has their opinions on our friendship. That's okay, but at the end of the day, I'm not sitting around crying over what she says and does. I know what I signed up for when we became friends." Spoken like a true idiot. And I think it's also safe to point out that Natalie has got very handsy with Scotty, aka her best friend, on numerous occasions on television and then dragged her ass. And it's really embarrassing that this girl is still Natalie's lapdog, friend, after all this. But the fact that she says, "I know what I signed up for," and that's just how Natalie is, tells me that her ass fake as hell, and her ass is only friends with Natalie because she knows it'll benefit her in the long run.
I'm stuck in Barbados. It's not even funny.
So here goes Scotty spazzing out because I can't find my passport. Oh my God, my passport is missing. Well, bitch, you just gonna be stuck in Barbados because ain't nobody waiting for you. She cannot find her passport.
Scotty, where the fuck is your... Did you check your bag? I don't know where my passport is.
Did you for sure see it?
But she gonna learn. Natalie is jealous of her. This girl's in her early 30s, Natalie's in her early 40s. This girl has a banging body and Natalie's intimidated by her. And let me give you guys a nice rundown and a quick rundown on why. Scotty has been known to sleep around with the CEO, aka Natalie's boss, Lamel Plummer from the Zeus Network, who's the owner of the platform and who pretty much calls the shots. And overall, this guy, Lamel Plummer, is incredibly problematic. He's very sinister and fake, and honestly, he's a whole other video within itself. But he's been known to sleep around with a lot of the people who are under his network and basically using his power in order to promise opportunities to people who want to get on TV and want to be famous.
So you saying he approached you inappropriately?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I went to go have a business meeting, and our business meeting ended up, he's like, "Can you meet me at my house instead of the office?"
Well, he might have just wanted to meet you at the house.
No, sweetie.
But like I said, he's a whole other video. And basically, there's been videos and photos of them being spotted together, being hugged up, all while this man is in a committed relationship with a fashion model by the name of Janisha. Now, it's really unfortunate, but I really think that the reason why Natalie does not like this girl is because Natalie sees that the girl that she brought on is now hooking up with the CEO. So you know what that means? More than likely, because this girl is sleeping with the CEO, she's going to get more money, more opportunities, and she's going to have more time to shine. And Natalie is intimidated by that. Hence why Natalie has assaulted her, called her out of her name, and done the most horrendous shit. Because Natalie is used to people being around her for opportunities. But of course, people want to chase the bag and get a nice paycheck, so they're going to hang around her for opportunities. So Natalie obviously doesn't trust anybody, and her being conniving makes her not like anybody. So a lot of times when you're friends with somebody who's fake and conniving and manipulative, and a lot of us have unfortunately been there where we accidentally befriended someone who we thought was cool and genuine, but they're really manipulative and they do what they can to take what they can out of people. A lot of these times, these people who are conniving will make you go above and beyond to prove yourself. Like, oh, let me just do this, let me just do that, or let me just F you over because I know you're probably going to F me over when you get a chance. And then when they realize you don't, all of a sudden they want to come crawling back and try to talk things out and try to be all nice or try to pitch the idea of y'all being cool again when you put up boundaries. Now, most of us have been friends with a quote-unquote mean girl or a mean boy or whatever, where no matter what, you notice that when you get around and you get attention, they get all nasty and get a mean mug and be like, "Oh, well, she's not all that great. Oh, well, have you seen her without makeup? Oh, well, you know, did you see how she used to look? She used to be really, really fat. This is her outfit." Or like, "Oh my God, like, you know, that outfit she has on is actually mine." Or, "Oh, she got that from Rainbow." Or, you know, she drags her feet a lot. Or, you know, she doesn't wipe herself when she pees. There are a lot of friends that you have like that that try to embarrass you. And this doesn't just go for women. This is men too. Like, "Oh, he's not all that." Or, "Man, stop dick riding him. He's nothing. Like, he's nothing special." Or, "Who cares about him?" Or, "Nah, he's probably like a little zesty." Or, "He's a little gay." Or, you know, "You don't want to be friends with him." Or, "He's this." And this always happens when they bring people around you. When people try to show you love and compliment how you look and give you grace and show you gratitude, they get intimidated by that because in their head, they actually admire you and really care about you. So they don't mind trying to help you, but they also hate you at the same time because when you come in, you take a lot of the attention off of them. And a lot of times that stems from people who are, self-absorbed and have a lot of internal insecurities. People who really deep down inside hate themselves, hate who they are, hate how they perceive, even though they act like they don't care. And they wish they had bits and pieces of you. Now, I've actually seen Scotty in person, and she's a beautiful woman. She's tall, she's beautiful, and she has a very bright spirit about her. And unfortunately, this can lead to a lot of things. This is actually a big reason why a lot of people with pretty privilege, men and women, oftentimes don't have a lot of friends. And the reason why it's very difficult for people who are aesthetically attractive, or if you're very successful, or if you have a lot going for yourself, to have a lot of friends, is very hard because people who aren't sane and comfortable with themselves will do anything they can to make you look bad. Which means if you walk out of that room, all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, like, did you know that one time they did this? Or, yeah, they don't even like you like that. I'm talking about literally trying to turn people against you. I'm talking about literally spreading rumors about you being a hoe, being this, being that, you ain't shit. And then when you walk into these rooms again, you notice everybody's acting all weird and standoffish because that person who you're close to invited you into a room and they just prepped everybody to treat you a certain way. And they're just standing back like, being all sinister and shit, trying to see the chaos that they themselves created because they're not happy with themselves. And that's the situation with Natalie. She's not happy with who she is. And every single one of us has had a friend like that at one point. Or hell, maybe you've been that friend. Maybe you've been that friend that wasn't happy with yourself and happy with the fact that your friend was successful, got attention, did a lot with themselves. And all you have to do when it comes to those situations is understand that everything is not about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has their time to shine. You don't know how long it took for somebody to get their by the way look or how hard somebody had to work to get that success. So I'm telling y'all, a lot of y'all think that y'all have a lot of genuine friends, but watch out for those backhanded compliments. Watch out for those compliments that disguise as jokes. Watch out when somebody be like, oh, wow, your makeup shockingly looks good today. Watch out for those kind of backhanded compliments. Or, wow, I'm shocked. I can't believe you actually, showed up or actually lost the weight. Or, wow, I can't believe your butt actually looks big. Watch out for those backhanded compliments because that tells you everything you need to know. People who jokingly laugh and say, oh, wow, you're so ugly. And they don't even make eye contact with you. When people joke, they usually make eye contact with you. They usually want to connect because they want you to laugh as well. But when people make little jokes about you in front of other people, or they make little like backhanded compliments / jokes, and they break eye contact, they're truly trying to hide how they really feel about you. Pay attention. Pay attention to the friends that always seem like they have all these sweet things and nice things to say about others, but when it comes time for you to post your business and your brand and, post things you got going on or post your before and after pictures on Instagram, it's never any love or it's never any, I'm so proud of you, I'm so happy for you. It's because they spent so much time shitting on you, talking shit about how you're never going to get this and you're never going to get that. And now that you actually got it, they feel stupid because now they look like a hater because now they have to go back to their other friends who they talk shit about you to, and now they have to prep those friends and be like, oh, well, they just did this because this, that, and third. They're not really all that. You have to watch out for those sinister friends because they're wolves in sheep's clothing. They literally have a picket knife in their back pocket waiting to stab you. I had a horrible situation, right? Interesting story, quick story time. Where I had a friend who, when we were at the mall, it was a group of us, right? I was only friends with this particular friend, right? I was only friends with him, but I always noticed that he was kind of jealous of me, like always comparing himself to me, always used to make slick backhanded compliments about me losing weight and shit like that. Like, I just always noticed little side things, but I never said anything because I'm just like, whatever. I've been friends with this person for some years. They're just joking. That's just how they are. Because anytime I used to address disrespect, they would do this. Just like how this has probably happened to y'all, where they'd be like, oh, you're just so sensitive. You're just so sensitive. Or, I'm not that sensitive. I'm not sensitive like you. Like, basically trying to gaslight you into thinking that when you call out something for being a little bit inappropriate or uncomfortable, they call you out for being too emotional and too sensitive, when a real friend will actually hear where you're coming from and adjust themselves accordingly or try to hear you out and stop doing those little slick things that they think you're too sensitive for reacting towards, right? But back to the story. I'm walking. It was a group of us. I was only friends with him. And randomly, I hear giggling, laughing, like giggling, like him giggling with his homegirl. And while he was giggling with his homegirl, I'm like confused and like I turned around really quickly. And by the time I turned around really quickly, they were already like about to walk to the other side of the mall. And I was just wondering like why they were laughing. They were really laughing behind my back. I'm like, why are they laughing so loud? And I didn't realize why they were laughing. But somebody in that group had walked up to me and was just like, oh, you don't know why they're laughing? I said, no, why are they laughing? Because he saw my face and how I was so confused. And essentially, he basically said, oh, they're laughing at you because they're talking about like how your shoes look and stuff like that. And literally from a distance, I literally see him like walking like a chicken. Like he literally like walked boat-legged, like literally make his legs all crooked and starts walking boat-legged. Because fun fact, I got some fat ass feet and I was wearing some Jesus sandals and he was basically making fun of me and talking shit with one of his little friends on the side about how my feet looked in those sandals. And instead of actually saying, hey, your sandals look a little bit weird and telling me to fix and rectify, he was giggling and laughing about it with one of his friends. And someone in that group had to tell me that that's what he and those other people were doing. Essentially, I cut them off because it ain't nothing, cut that bitch off. And that's what you kind of have to do when it comes to people mistreating you and doing little shady things behind your back. Because if somebody was bold enough to do that shit when my back was actually turned, when they were literally like 10, 15 feet away from me, imagine what the fuck they'll do when you're nowhere around. And also, there was another situation where this friend, quote-unquote friend of 3 years, used to literally befriend people that I would make videos about. Now, as y'all know, I make videos involving pop culture, world events, talking about celebrities, influencers, and much more. And I have a lot of strong opinions, as do everybody else. And he basically would, like, slide in these people's DMs that I would make videos about, and he would be buddy friendly with them, and I wouldn't really care that much because again, I don't really care. I don't know these people that I make content about in most cases, so I don't care who you speak to or befriend. It's not that deep. Some of y'all could watch this person, that person, and still watch my commentary video. It doesn't matter. But what he would do is he would bring my name up as gossip. Like he would be like, oh yeah, my friend Choice made a video about you. And then all of a sudden he'd be like, oh yeah, like I was talking to Simply Nessa, the YouTuber, and she was like saying how she saw your video. And yeah, she was like, damn. Oh, and I was talking to this other YouTuber named Dslr. Like, yeah, she doesn't like you. Yeah, no, yeah, like, yeah, she doesn't like you at all. She doesn't like you. And mind you, I've made videos about these content creators. Why are you over here talking about me? How do they know that we know each other? The fuck? I don't post you on my shit. How do they know that we know each other? You know what I mean? Like, how do they know? So clearly you're bringing up my name as gossip. And you think that I'm supposed to just, like, be okay with that? And I would always just be like, oh, yeah, whatever. Like, who cares? And just dust it off. But a piece of me always knew that that was kind of fucked up and manipulative and fake. But I never said anything because, again, I didn't have much confidence or self-esteem to really, you know, stand up and be like, fuck you, you ain't shit, and cut you off. Because who the fuck do you think you are just bringing my name up to these people that I don't even fucking know and then telling me the negative things they said without telling me what the fuck you said? So you have to watch out for stuff like that. And I always saw like little petty, sneaky things. And I remember like I've had a lot of situations, right? That's kind of the reason why I don't have a lot of friends because, you know, I've always been very well spoken. I've always kind of had my own shit. I was always hustling, and I also used to be a dishwasher, and I also did social media on the side. Like I did a lot of things. Like I always made sure that I got to the bag. Like when I was younger, I was trying to sell like food and candy. Like I was always in my bag and trying to be consistent and stuff. And I always try to find a way to get some motion. And sometimes I kind of caught myself outgrowing people who were my age because people would kind of like compare themselves to me or talk down on me and do little weird sneaky shit or would like throw shit in my face. Like whenever I would tell them like, oh yeah, I'm not comfortable with that. They'll be like, oh, well, you know, that's why you're this, that, and the third. Like, you know, sometimes people will say things like, oh, well, you think you're better than people. And I'm just like, when did I ever say this? Maybe that's how you feel. If somebody looks at you and say, oh, you think you're better than people. If I never specifically said, I think I'm better than you, then that's how you feel because I didn't say that, and people shouldn't feel that way about you. Unless you specifically said, I think I'm better than you, then they shouldn't automatically assume that you think that. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I think we're all capable of getting things. Some people have Stockholm Syndrome with certain friends. Some people are only friends with people because, oh yeah, well, this friend, you know, they let me stay in their house for like the weekend, you know, when I was trying to, you know, when I didn't want to pay for a hotel room. Or, yeah, this friend, you know, they drove me, you know, they used to drive me back and to from work. Meanwhile, they don't realize that people are only doing shit just because they're bored or they feel like they have to because they're people pleasers. But sometimes they don't really like you. Because it's just like, if you feel like you have to, you know, bring up all the good things they did and ignore all the bad stuff, that means they're probably getting in your head and manipulating you. Because just because somebody does nice things for you, that doesn't mean they have any right to mistreat you. And that's some shit a lot of us have to keep in mind. You know, a lot of our mothers told us very well that everybody ain't your friend. A lot of our, you know, older peers and our elders always tell us, watch who you call a friend, because the very same people who are sweet and kind and positive and show you mad love aren't doing that behind your back. Hence why they won't support your brand. Hence why they will never tell you they're happy for you or congratulations. People show you how they feel about you. So you need to believe them the first or 2 times. If somebody treats you like you're a convenience, or you're just a seat filler for when they want to go out to the bar or go to the club, or you're just a seat filler until they get into a relationship, and then when they get in a relationship, they ditch your ass because I was just bored and needed a friend, that tells you everything you need to know about them. Some of y'all are friends with people because you're just like, oh, well, you know, if I hang out with them, then whatever, like, you know, I'll get that job, or, you know, they work for this company and that company, so, you know, it'll work in my favor. No. Why would you want to be around somebody just because they come with opportunities? Wait, matter of fact, I understand why, but why would you want to be around someone you're not safe around? The minute they give you that opportunity, or you get that opportunity, they'll find any and every reason to shit on you because they know you're only cool with them because they come with opportunities. You don't truly like or care about them for who they are, and if they had nothing, you wouldn't be attracted to them. Some people like Scotty gotta take some accountability. Sometimes a lot of these people who are being mistreated and have all these fake friends who aren't kind and nice, some of y'all need to take some accountability, and some of y'all need to look in the mirror, because some of y'all are exactly what's wrong with the world. You get mad when somebody treats you a certain way. You get mad when people do certain things, but look in the mirror. You're only hanging out with them for conveniency. You're only hanging out with them because, you know in the end you're going to get something in return. Or you're only doing all this free stuff because you know in the back of your mind, okay, I know I'm going to get this if I do this, and that, and the third. And some of y'all are just fake as fuck. You mad because you got a friend that mistreats you, that's abusive or toxic, but you fake as fuck because you see the signs and you're not cutting them off. Closed mouths don't get fed. And the more you keep quiet, even though you see the little slick comments, or when you're hanging out with people and they go like this, like pay attention to that. That's another thing. When you're talking and you finally get a chance to talk about yourself and the success you got going on, they go like this, and they start looking at each other, that's a sign that they don't fuck with you and they don't like you. It's one thing for somebody to look away because they don't like eye contact, but when they start looking at somebody, that means they're not fucking with you. That means they're not fucking with you. That means they don't care for you, right? And it's one thing to do that to some random or someone you don't really care for, but it's another thing when these people call you their friend, or you call them your friend, and they're having their own little like inner like circle, their own little personal friendship with somebody in that group. To like, oh my God, this bitch is talking again, or oh my God, this dude's talking. You hear this shit? And that's why I don't blame people when they say, I don't have any friends, because I understand why. As you get older, you start to realize that a lot of the friends you had when you were in high school, in your early 20s, or in your 20s in general, or in your early 30s, you start to realize that they were all meaningless. They were all centered around alcohol. Some of y'all were only friends with people because y'all got lit together or y'all drank together. There was never any really real foundation behind that friendship. Y'all just had something in common and they have shit to do, so y'all found something to do and y'all are fucking friends because y'all both needed something to do. But when it's time to talk about you, they zone out. Or when you talk about the things you got going on or the sad stuff you got going on, it's like, yeah. Like they don't give a fuck and they're not paying attention. And then the minute you say something that relates to them, they're like, oh wow, damn, your mom just died of cancer. Oh, that's so crazy because my dog died of cancer too. Okay, so here's what happened to my dog. So my dog this happened to my dog, right? So what happened, they literally take control of the whole fucking story, even though you're venting about something that's heartbreaking to you, and they just make it about themselves. Some people don't have any ill intent, but most of them usually do. Some of them just don't give a fuck about you. They're just bored. They're just so insecure and don't want to be alone with their thoughts. They just have you around just for the hell of it. But when it comes to your birthday dinners, do they show up? When it comes to giving you a nice little birthday gift, do they ever give you anything? When it comes to you coming up with a cool business idea, do they ever show you love and say, hey, I'm happy for you, I hope things work out, and let me send you some YouTube videos or some articles that may be able to help you? Or, hey, let me help you, I'd love to help. Like, if you ever need anyone to do it with, I'll let you know. Are those really your real friends? You know, and it's okay to not have that many friends because sometimes your friends can be your dog. Sometimes your friends, or sometimes even family, can put you through everything these bad friends can put you through. Sometimes your friends and your family can be your dog or your cat, or sometimes it could be your mom or your dad or your cousin or your uncle, or even your sibling, or even that one person that you check in with every few months who is really kind to you and always shows you love and motivates you. And you see them probably like once every 2 months, once every 3 months, or you see them when you're in town. And that's okay too. But please keep in mind that some people, you're only friends with them because you're just bored and lonely. And because you're bored and lonely, you're punishing yourself and thinking that that's how people are supposed to act. And you're like Scotty, thinking, well, that's just how this person is. Clearly, Scotty didn't like it because Scotty liked water being thrown on her. She would have just stood there and just allowed Natty to keep throwing water on her. But clearly she didn't because she moved and she made a stank face. On top of that, all these clips I showed y'all of her making fun of Scotty, laughing at Scotty, Scotty lost her passport. Come on now. It's always in the fake little backhanded jokes. People always show you who they are. And honestly, my biggest advice for a lot of y'all watching this who are just like, well, how can I sniff this out? How can I be sure? Go through something. Go through some hardship. Go through a breakup. See if they'll show you love and succeed. See if they see you as some type of like competition. See if they want to compete with you. Like Nicki Minaj said, everybody loves you when you're not competition. But then when they become competition, they don't love you so much. Go through something and succeed. And that's the best way to know. And it's always in the eyes. It's always in the eyes. It's always in the eyes. Because sometimes I've had friends where like they'll smile and be like, hey, Troyce, nice to see you. Damn, hey, Troyce. Troyce, how are you? Hey, like, and then it's just like ugly eyes. Like literally like the eyes don't even match. Like they're just like irritated and disgusted by my presence, or they were just talking shit and they don't care for me. And that's fine. That is fine because sometimes people just don't like you. Sometimes people just don't care for you. Some people are jealous of you and don't like you, and some people just don't like you. And guess what? Hang out with people who simply just like you. If you feel like you have to freeze up when you're talking to people and you've literally known them for like it's one thing to do it with people you just met, but if you feel like you have to freeze up around people that you've known for like more than a year, then maybe that's just a sign that they don't really like you like that, or you know they don't really like you and you're just playing along because you're just lonely. Or when you're talking about things you got going on, they zone out and just completely don't care, and you feel like it's never anything, there's no connection. Think about it. Succeed, go through something, look at the eyes. The eyes never lie. There's so many ways to make good friends. People will complain and be like, well, I don't have friends. Just because you don't have friends and people traumatize you, got friendship PTSD, that doesn't mean that you should be out here mistreating people and thinking that people just are all fake and all trash and catty. You know what I mean? What you can do is this. There's a lot of networking events on TikTok. You can go on TikTok and type in networking events in Cape Town, networking events in Berlin, Germany, networking events in Addis, Ethiopia, networking events in, California, networking events in Grand Rapids, Michigan, networking events in Cincinnati, Ohio. You can look up things to do to find people that you like. You can go to an art gallery. You can go to a tea house to go get some tea. You can go to a random speakeasy bar. You can go to an underground club. And guess what? If you have no one to go to because you just no one to go with because you just cut off all those fake ass friends, you can go by yourself. You can go by yourself and meet amazing people. And if you don't feel safe, go to a fucking movie by yourself. Do things by yourself. Talk to people. Compliment people's outfits. Show people love. And if they show you love back, great. You just met somebody who's not a hater and is willing to show you love right back. You need to get your ass up and you need to go out there instead of just trying to assume that you should be okay with the friends you have. Because there was a point in my life where I thought I was just like Scotty. I was like, oh, well, it's okay because, I've known this person for so long and it's just whatever. That's just how they are. No. I don't give a fuck if you know each other for 9 or 10 years. If you're just mistreating me and not being kind to me and not showing me love back and I did literally nothing to you and you're just jealous or you just don't care for me or like me and find me annoying, I'm just going to remove myself and separate myself because I kind of caught myself where when I noticed somebody was a fake friend or not being nice to me or always making little backhanded jokes in front of other people to make me, uncomfortable. And sadly, it's happened with me with family members too. I used to just be like, whatever, they're cool. They don't mean no harm. And then you blow up last minute and then they be like, oh, well, damn, like, I didn't know you felt that way. Or, oh, wow, you're just too sensitive. Or, well, you're just sensitive. You're just sensitive. Or like, what are you even talking about when they know what they're doing? They know they're not being kind to you. They know. And everybody knows how they treat other people. And sometimes in rare occasions, Sometimes people are so toxic when they mistreat you that they don't know that they're hurting you. So it's always good to have at least one conversation. Scotty has had multiple conversations on a national streaming platform. At that point, her ass is just dumb and she's just in it for the long haul. She's only just cool with Natalie because she knows Natalie's gonna keep bringing those opportunities. So essentially they're using each other. Natalie's using this dummy for some fucking ratings and views and attention and company, even though this girl's probably getting ranted by the CEO. And Scotty's using this girl because she knows that it'll always come with opportunities. I mean, her past friend who knew her for many years already said it. So it is what it is. So have one conversation, and if nothing changes, you need to abort mission. But that's that for this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Give your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know your experience with your little fake friends that you've had or people you've had to cut off, or if you've been that friend and you're willing to grow and look at your own actions. And tell me what you guys thought about this video. And yeah, that's that. Troyce out this bitch. Why don't we fall in love?